Morgan, it's game 3 of 8. A few of you are going to get into 4 to 6 of these games. Where do you go from here, given what you've been able to do the first couple of games as a group, and try to get better with 2 weeks from now in mind?
Yeah, these games are important. You know, the closer we get to the regular season, the more important these games become. And you know, I don't think we're all that proud of ourselves the way we played in the first 2. So I think we got a lot of work to do, and you know, a lot of room to improve. And you know, we've had our meetings. We had meetings yesterday. We're going to have meetings again today, and we're going to look at the areas that we can get better in, and we're going to try to do that. But you know, it starts with hard work. You know, at this point in training camp, we know the systems. We're all familiar with one another, and you know, I mean, now it just becomes about buying in, working hard, and you know, treating it like a regular season game.
Neutral zone forecheck was the focus after the first game. Are there other attentions to detail that Mike wants you guys as a team to focus on?
Lots. You know, we have lots of room to improve. Obviously, you know, going 0-2 in the first 2, there's no shortage of areas to improve on. You know, whether that be holding onto the puck in the offensive zone. You know, both ends of the puck when you're going through the neutral zone and trying to slow them down when they're coming through, and just defensive zone. I don't think there's too much of the game that I didn't mention there. So you know, we have a lot of work to do.
Mike was a bit critical of the team to us. Do you sense this frustration in the meetings or behind the scenes?
For sure. You know, he's very competitive. He takes his job very seriously, and he takes the preseason very seriously. And you know, when we come out and we have 2 efforts that we're not proud of, it's not acceptable. And I mean, as players, you know, we have to sit down kind of, amongst ourselves and say that, we kind of have to get going. I mean, the regular season's right around the corner, and these games are important. And, you know, when you come out with 2 efforts that you're not proud of, it's time to maybe turn it on a little bit.
When you say like you're not proud of it, do you mean just in terms of how the team is working or how you're executing?
Well, just the fact that, you go in the first game of the year and lose 6-2. There's always good things. There's always things you can take away that you did well. But, in that particular night, we went out and they carried the play. And, that in itself you can't be happy with. And you can't allow it to happen again. So that's our job tonight, is to go out there, outwork them, and, play our game. And, like I said, treat it like a, regular season game.
Where's the line, though? I mean, we all know that these don't really mean that much in the grand scheme of things.
Well, I mean, they're important. This game now is played at a very high speed, and this is your opportunity to kind of get up to that level. And it's tough. Obviously, when you come back, the first couple preseason games, there's always going to be rust, but you want to get rid of it as quick as you can. And these games are important for us. We want to be in mid-season form come October 4th. So, if you want that to happen, you got to be ready to go in practice. You got to be ready to go for the preseason games, and that's what we're trying to do.
Get a chance to go back to Rico for the first time since a teenager, I guess.
Yeah, it's been a while. Obviously, I played a couple games there, and so I'm looking forward to going back. It's a great building, and so we're looking forward to getting, playing tonight.
From what you have been able to see of Rosen and Boardman so far, what stands out to you?
They're both great players. It's always tough when you come over here from Europe, and there's a little bit of a language barrier. You don't know the coach, you don't know your teammates that well, but I think they've handled it extremely well. They play pro hockey before, they know how it works, and I think playing with Rosen that night in Ottawa, I was very impressed. He can really shoot the puck, he can really skate. Good first pass, and then watching the game, watching Borgie play, he's a big guy, moves the puck well, moves his feet, so it's very exciting to see those guys come in and be so strong.
Travis Dermott is obviously trying to make the jump this year, and I would say that, not exactly the same, but a similar type of player to you in that he likes to generate offense from the blue line. When you made your transition to the NHL level, do you find that it's a little bit more difficult as an offensive type defenseman than it might be as a defensive type defenseman to make that jump at a young age?
Depends. It depends. When you're a young guy and you want to contribute offensively, you're playing with guys like Matthews and Marner and Nylander, and that can make it a bit easier. I think it's harder to be able to play defense. that's certainly what the case was with me. I feel like playing against the bigger guys, playing at a higher speed is more difficult than playing alongside with some really talented people offensively. So I think that the hardest part about it is trying to find a balance. And this is my 5th year and I'm still working on it. So I think he's done an outstanding job. He looked great that night in Ottawa, and he's looked good all camp. So credit to him. He worked hard all offseason. He's looking really good, and you know, is, you know, a young kid with a bright future.